From coming up with our all-time favorite Yellowstone to giving us another amazing show, 1923, Taylor Sheridan won our hearts. But with that, he might have made an error in this new spin-off.
Very still, always watching. Deliberate in everything he did. I could jabber away for hours and he would just listen.
Apparently, there's an error that only true Yellowstone fans will notice. But before I get you there, let's talk a bit about the new series. Sheridan is a genius, and fans knew it very well when Yellowstone came out. The universe he created with that show is simply outstanding, and fans can't have enough of it. After all, it's not some simple task to go on and write an entire multi-generational tale that tells a story spanning a whole century. The original series made us meet the Dutton patriarch, John Dutton, while the prequel 1883 gave us a look into Dutton's history. 1923, just like the other shows, became another achievement and helped Sheridan climb up the ladder of success. When premiered, the show was well received, and as of now, it has already generated a great viewership.
Enrich themselves at your expense. We use the government to do it. And mark my words, one day they'll create laws to control.
But here's the issue. Even though it's a great spin-off, not everything necessarily makes sense here. Yes, that's right. One of the main characters, Spencer Dutton, is one example of that. The first time fans saw Spencer was in Yellowstone, but there he wasn't a main character, but was only a part of flashbacks. In season 4 of the original series, fans got to know that he was John Dutton Sr.'s younger brother. However, nothing else was known of him. But with this new series, everyone found a way to know more about this hidden character. According to the new show, he's the youngest son of James and Margaret Dutton, but most importantly, he's the one to lose his sister. His sister Elsa was lost during the quest to Montana in 1883.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you? Yes. You don't know what that word means.
Her death is one of the most important incidents, as this is why her parents dedicate their land. But with all this, they somehow got Spencer's age confused, and fans are now wondering what happened. Let's go back in time and see for ourselves. Looking back at the time when Spencer first showed up in the flashbacks, it indicated that his brother was 5 years old. The flashbacks were from the time when the Duttons began their journey to Montana.
We have gotten killed on these cattle loans, Jake. We're at a 20% default rate.
Not by me. I paid off my loan. When others walked away, I paid mine off.
It's a bad investment for us.
This ultimately means that the age gap was pretty clear between the brothers too. Then in 1893, after the family settled in Montana, John Sr. is shown at the age of about 7 years. What does that mean? Do the maths. Yes, Spencer should be somewhere in his mid-30s, at least if not late 30s in this new series. While occasional fans might not notice this detail, die-hard fans know what happened there. They can easily compare the ages and figure out that there was a significant error when the character was given an age. Some fans pointed out the difference in his lifestyle in a fun way. They compared his lifestyle in 1923 to what they showed us first in 1883. So, as per the new series, Spencer is in Africa, where he's working as a hunter after World War I. Fans see him in a bar with a friend named Alexandra, and he also happens to be extremely handsome. That's why some female admirers approach him. Now, here's the weird thing. All these admirers have heard his stories. As a big shot hunter, he's got some legends attached to his name, but that makes me question it. Is he that old? After all, developing a reputation like his requires an age, and he can't be that old, right? He's shown to be famous for killing a man-eater of Savo. For the help of those who don't know, this incident was based on a real-life event where 2 lions had attacked construction workers on the Kenya-Uganda Railway, and looking at that event, it happened in 1898, which ultimately means that Spencer might be lying about his age at the bar. He should be much older than that if he actually killed one of those lions, shouldn't he? One explanation that comes to mind is that he was simply trying to avoid being praised for his legendary actions. Or maybe the writers missed something there, and it was actually a real error.
It seems your claim of self-defense has merit.
I didn't want to fight him. I damn sure didn't want to kill him. You gave me no other choice.
That's been made clear. I'll not notify authorities at your port of call.
But this wasn't all. There was another issue that fans noted. Apparently, the timeline of the family moving to Montana was also wrong in this new series. So far so, the show has made a good impression, but these subtle errors really triggered the fans. The spin-off presented misleading facts about the time when the Dutton family settled at the ranch, but this issue was even present in Yellowstone. Remember when even John Dutton was a bit confused about the timeline, as he placed it somewhere around 1886. The issue might be only for a few years, but you know how die-hard fans are, right? With that said, you must wonder where exactly this disruption occurred. Well, it all happened in the second episode of the spin-off. The timeline is all fine, and it makes sense. There's no denying that, but the inconsistency in the second episode really caused so much confusion about Spencer's age that everyone's focus was diverted. In the bar scene, when he's asked about the man-eaters of Tsavo, he claims that when that happened, he was only 5 years old. And as I mentioned earlier, that was in 1898, and him being only 5 at that time is almost impossible. But that wasn't all. There's another confusion that many fans need answers for. Remember John Dutton's famous line when he said that his relatives had been buried on the ranch in Montana since 1886. That was misinformation, because Duttons were already burying their people on the ranch long before 1886. This new series suggests that Elsa Dutton passed away in 1883, and her parents did actually bury her at the ranch. So how can the custom begin in 1886? Not to mention, this new spin-off has also confirmed that there are several things that still need to be answered. For example, the mystery of John Dutton's ancestors. While it could be for sure that Elizabeth and Jack were his grandparents, fans can't really say whose son he is. He could be the son of Spencer and Alexandra, or maybe he comes from their line. Fans aren't sure about that yet, but it looks like the upcoming episodes will reveal some information about that as well. But for that, waiting is necessary. With that, there's been another complaint. Apparently, the spinoff has too many Duttons, and it's hard to keep track of it all. It looks like the Duttonverse has expanded way too much, and this is one reason why even the showrunners keep forgetting details. This new spinoff, for example, has so many of the Duttons that it was hard for anyone to keep track of everyone. And now even the fans have somewhat accepted the fact that they might not get to know everyone and how each of them is related. The Dutton family tree itself has become a whole muddled up sketch, which is hard to understand now. But some fans believe that this increase in characters is the reason why there are more inconsistencies in the series than expected. The thing is that among all the Dutton kids, there are several new branches that continue to grow. This ultimately means that if one isn't focusing on every single detail, the story might get out of hand and one won't even understand anything. They could have made it easier for everyone if they had given a bit of information about each of the Duttons. And most importantly, if they had focused more on the details about their ages, since fans happen to remember every single detail. And there you have it, the error in this new spin-off that had everyone shocked. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.